Yep. So I'm kind of back with another healthcare blog. I ain't made no name up for my blogs yet, but I rock with care beyond this realm. You know what I mean? But anyhow, I was just thinking, consistency and just telling, stories of myself, my experiences, and also some of those that I came across or been across experiences and stories that I just got verbally. I think that's one of the pluses about healthcare is just being around so many different minds and personalities. And that's just a plus for me. You know, so if you are what you eat and you are what you hang around, I guess, or let me not even say guess, I'm a hell of a fucking nigga. You know what I mean? Because I'm around some dope ass minds and personalities too. So I'm just gonna just go in just straight on healthcare with my blogs, just straight healthcare stuff. If you can relate, you can relate. If you can't relate, hey, just don't even look at it. Don't even view it. So I was thinking about some stories this time, like that. But there's just so much to it. It's really so much to it. I can't say any names, give out any personal information due to HIPAA. You know what I'm saying? But I do got this story. I got so many stories, man. Maybe I ought to just write them down. Shit. But look, so I got this one story of one of my residents, because I'm going to be speaking about stories of residents, because they done good things. I done heard good things. And the one story I was about to tell y'all, I'm not even going to tell y'all until I get into my transitioning and death phase of the stories. But the same way that you have those stories, you have people that's actually living right now that's doing some things or did some things in their life. So I'm going to speak about my homeboy, and I can't say his name. But look, so I used to read a whole lot of books. I've been stopped reading books. Reality is what's up right now. So I read this book called Medical Apartheid. I shared this with one of my stick girls the other day. But I read this book called Medical Apartheid. You could go get the book, if you're interested in that book. I'm not going to go into depths about what the book really was. It's been a while since I read it, But I'm not going to go into depth. I'm going to just pull one piece out of this book because it's relevant to the story that I'm about to give you guys. Once again, I am around some dope ass minds. All types of minds. I don't even get into the shades, the colors, the sex and all this stuff. I just get into the mental, the magic, the personality, the being, you know what I mean? Like that. So, I had this book called Medical Apartheid, and one thing that stuck out the most about the book was the Tuskegee Airmen. How these people put syphilis into these people and basically just killed them off. You know what I mean? Like that, the sum it down. So I'm walking down the hall one day and I see this guy. He got on a Tuskegee Airman hat. Now, I'd have been in this man's room numerous times. Never knew this man far as what he done. And I communicate with all residents, like that. For some reason, I just got like a people's personality, or they vibrate to my energy, my spirit, like that. So I see this guy with a Tuskegee Airpilot, airplane, whatever the fuck, hat on his head. So I say, hey, was you a Tuskegee Airman? So you can imagine during this time, this was like hell of a years ago, decades ago, shit. So he said, yeah, I was a Tuskegee Airman. I say, wow. So this is what I mean by one of the pluses about being in healthcare, because this dude is like a walking monument, So I asked him the question, and he like, yeah, I'm a Tuskegee Airman. I said, you is? Wow. Let me ask you a question right quick. Because I read the book. Like people lie in books, man. People lie to you all the time. So what's better? It's like saying, hey, if I could speak to Mark, Luke, Matthew, and John, if them niggas really did exist. Like, how was this dude? You hung around Jesus, nigga? Peter, did you literally see this nigga walk on water? Like, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I read a book, and I took what I read, and I brought it to this man. I'm like, yo, did them people really put syphilis, man? And that in the Airpiolets and shit. So at first he kind of just, I don't know if it was who he was around, or he's an older guy, so maybe he just had some real wisdom and was like, yo, nigga, I'm not gonna say shit. Yeah. So I sat down by this guy, and he said, yo, that shit really did happen. I say, what? He like, yeah. I said, yeah, man, because, I read it in the book and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to know if it really happened. So he get to explain it to me, his travels, as being a Tuskegee Airman, and being in war during that time, which was World War II, which was a while back. Was that 1942, 43, somewhere up in that area, I want to say. So that's the benefit of being around dope ass minds, being around people that necessarily paved ways or did certain things in this world, via color, via sex, via whatever you call yourself, and all of this stuff. So I say, yo, so how was it, being a pilot, like that? So he got to telling me how during that time they did a draft, and then he volunteered. So if you're thinking about most people that have melanin in their skin, back then it was like a whole lot of segregation going on and stuff like that, So I'm asking him, because most black people back then, they always say, I done it. So, it could be a stepping stone for our race. Like everybody I believe from back then probably say that stuff, like, I done it so it could be a stepping stone for the race. But he volunteered. So I'm trying to figure out why you volunteer, TV tell it, hey, my dude, you went over there, came back, and still suffered the same thing that you suffered when you was, before you went. Stuff like that, just based on TV, documentaries and stuff like that. So I say, what did you do it for? Like, did you do it for the race? To say that you was making a leap for the race? Man, that man say first preservation is the first law of nature. You cannot take care of nobody unless you take care of yourself. That was one of the biggest jewels that, it was so on point, like that. So he was telling me stuff like all of the so-called little black people, it was still segregated even when they was feuding and warring with people and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess racism has no unity. Because in the time, you're going to war, and you got people, two different types of shades or whatever, and you still can feud and have a problem with each other. That's a real problem. It really is, So he said, yeah, man, They took all the black people and put them in. If you was fighting in that war, you was a pilot. You was stationed in Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me stuff like that. Got to talking about his friend and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, how was it when you came back? Yo, man, it was worse. It was worse. So how did you feel going to go fight that war like that and still come back and it's still segregation? You know, you still got these people feuding with these people. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. You know, if you can fight together with a person, hey, y'all niggas should be friends and still fight later too. You know, like, that's how I grew up. You know, like that. So my point in telling you that story was that being in healthcare, my dude, if you are what you eat, so they say, you are who you hang around. I guess I'd have been all of this shit. Maybe I was a Tuskegee Airpiolet or some shit. Yo, that's my story for today, man. Y'all stay up.